Hi, welcome to an Easy Trader Update. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 23rd of January. Okay, as we move towards the end of the month, I'm just looking at, starting off looking at cable, taking a bigger picture view here at the moment and what we're actually experiencing. I'm looking at the weekly on cable. We had the divergence up here and I've seen quite a pull off so far. It's broken the lows now, which could suggest further downside. This is a weekly chart. When we look in the weekly chart with a bit more detail and then pop the pivots on, we're not too far short of the monthly S3 pivot. It's come off quite a long way. Important factors, as I'll come in a moment, is the previous lows there, which we're pretty in line with. We've also, if you can see, that we've got the support of the 50 and the 200 trying to hold the whole price up there, and it's a real tester at this point. If it does start breaking down further, there's still some potential. At the moment it still looks relatively weak, but when you look at it in the bigger context, and as I say, I'm looking at a weekly chart here, you can see for long periods now we've been sitting in a relatively small trading range, and there is potential for it to continue its route down. When I start zooming out a little bit here, if I actually just bring it to a daily, for example, on the daily perspective, we are in this downward trend at the moment. It's got a bit sort of oversold-ish, although there's no extremes, but got a little bit oversold here, and we could see more of a rally. We've pulled away from the regression mean, so there is potential for it to pull up to that sort of level. But whilst doing so, it would stay within its descending channel, effectively. This descending channel that's sitting on here, a regression channel. But if it pops up to the mean, there is some possibilities for that. I'm just looking across the sort of this resistance levels as it starts moving, start coming around this sort of area here, which I mean would allow it to run through that mean perhaps a little bit, but if the mean doesn't hold it with the key MAs, etc., that are sort of sitting here, the 200, there's plenty of levels above which could act as further resistance. So it's sort of sitting in that in between part at the moment. As we bring down, come down, just look at the 4 hourlies, what we're seeing in this very short term, or sort of relatively short term, is we've had this area where we just can't, let me just get the pen there, can't seem to be, oops, that's not the straightest of lines, can't seem to be breaking out of this level, this area here. There seems to be lots of selling running in every time we seem to run up to the last 3 days. So and today's no different at the moment. It's got pretty close to, or just fractionally higher than yesterday's highs, and it's pulled off again, suggesting there's selling pressure at that point. Now, if we can get beyond that, and it really is it's well worth having a regression here as well, if we can break above that, pull back to that sort of level, there is potential for the regression, or even heading towards the upper level. We haven't tested the upper channel here. There's possibility to do that. Obviously, there's a standard trend line that's coming across here as well. That would mean breaking that as well. But this is what I really need to be looking at, particularly for people that are looking at more of a swing trade and holding for a couple of days. That's what I'd be looking at, or I'd say a couple of days, day 2, 3, 4 days. That's what I'd be looking for as a potential. Obviously, if we see a breakdown of these levels, and then the reverse is true. If we break out the bottom of this, we'll be looking for a retest of the bottom, and then there's the potential to the downside. At the moment, this big bullish 4 hourly that we're seeing here could be sufficient to see some upside, but we get bullish and bearish bars around this level in the past, and it's just come to a halt. So looking at the smaller time frame, just slightly, you can see what's happened here in this sort of selling area that's occurring. it's coming up to further resistance. It's just literally pipped up yesterday's highs there, but it's run into the 60-minute 100 there, and it's come off again. So at the moment, and if you look at this smaller regression channel I've got on here, which is the nearer term, bring this down to a 4-hourly, and all I've taken is from this part here, and called this here. And when we're looking at this, it's actually come out of this shorter term regression channel. So whilst on the dailies and whatever else, it may suggest it may want to run up higher and push up beyond here. This is looking weak. So looking weak in the short term, but as I say, any confirmed breakout of this channel and a change of direction needs to be a break of these highs and perhaps a retest and off. It may not pull back directly to a retest. There may be other support that comes up at that point on shorter time frames, but certainly still looking relatively weak until it can break that level. Okay, that's we've done the euro. We haven't done the euro. Let's do the euro. Let's come back up to the weeklies and look at where we are there. And from a weekly perspective for the euro, it all still looks quite sort of that it could push higher. In fact, we bring it into the bigger picture here and look at the same sort of situation. We're running into the sort of weekly 100. We got the weekly 200 above us. There is resistance, and there is the monthly R2 up here along with that 200 that could potentially spoil things. From a daily perspective, we're currently stuck in this quite tight trading range. Again, just like what I was pointing out with cable a short while ago, is you're looking at the same thing here. At the moment, we've got selling pressure coming in every time it gets towards the key 134 area. It's getting selling coming in here, and there is some buying support below us. So what we again really would like to see, I mean, it's about 130 pips, I think, this range. What we'd like to see is a breakout whichever way, and whichever way it goes, it's a test. Now, with the trend, the bigger trend up, you would think you'd get a bit more bang for your buck if it run up to the upside here and managed an upside move. However, if it's a reversal, there was divergence from these highs to this high here. Just although it was a bit washed out because it went from high to low, but it could fall a little bit more. But at the moment, it's sitting in a very, very tight trading range, effectively. Although still giving some good intraday moves. When you see the sort of moves that we had yesterday, it sort of came back, tested its daily S3 and bounced almost straight away, helped by some news coming in. It was already doing it had done like a little bear rally, and then the news came out good, pushed it up and gave it the push it needed. This morning, well, it was drifting down, looking very bearish at one stage, got a bit of a reversal going on, and has run up quite nicely since then. But we're in, as I say, we're so tightly ranged here, it's quite difficult to pick the direction it should be trading on, and we can only do it from the short-term time frames, and it can be quite choppy. And this isn't the best of day trading markets when it's like this. It's a lot easier when your dailies are in a nice range, trading range, and I say trading range, a trend rather, a nice trend one way or the other, and you can go with a daily trend then. Okay, that's the euro. I'm going to look at the yen very briefly here and just look from a daily perspective. And what we've done with this is the dollar yen. So the yen's lost a lot of strength. The euro yen's going to show you a similar picture, but I just thought I'd just show you the important factor here is the fact that it's come up to that 90 area, which was the initial target for the yen to be at against the dollar. There is further potential. There's a lot of rhetoric that's gone on and discussions that have gone on in Japan about the biggest thing is its timing of some of its relaxation, whatever else, goes into 2014 and 2015. So you're looking at quite some time away for some of the measures to be taken. So I think the markets have sort of suddenly realised, well, actually, perhaps. As much as the economy is massively weak, and there's really it's got lots of downside potential, which means the yen could continue in this trend eventually. I think we may just get a bit more of a correction in the short term. Looking at euro yen here, similar picture. Now there's two things going on I'm looking at here. Using these regression channels, I'm looking at price. It's as I say, it's been pretty unsuccessful in its breakout of this upper side here. It did its divergence sort of move here, and it's pulling back. To me, it could well pull back towards the mean that was sort of sitting there before, and it's sitting in this nice descending channel on the 4 hours, and this is what I'm looking at the moment. Yes, it's playing up to this at times, can run through, but at the moment it's the bigger picture, or this certainly this 4 hour picture, should I say, and even the bigger picture may want it to come back down towards this sort of this mean, and probably along with it there's a 200 there as well. So there's some potential for some further downside. Now obviously these things don't happen. Well, sometimes they will happen in a shifty, but it could take a few days to actually work this through if it's going to happen. Obviously during that time we can get counter trades on the way, but this is where I'm looking at it from technically. There's a good chance it would come down, carry on coming down, maybe meet down here somewhere, so you can see the time it could take. Okay, that's just about it really for me. I wish you a great trading week. Kevin will be back on Friday with some more live trading, no doubt. Hopefully you'll have a good rest of the week. We've had a good morning in the trading room today. Some nice moves on cable and the euro yen this morning, so we're off to a flying start. So I wish you a good week. Bye for now.